it's got a life of its own today. Where am I now? Stonehouse. So I thought I would talk about Stonehouse and my relationship with Stonehouse. My gran, this is Stonehouse Hospital, and this is now Stonehouse Hospital, and this all used to be Stonehouse Hospital up here. My gran used to make uniforms for the nurses, and she was a tailor in Dax Simpson's in Larkhall. Go up to Larkhall in a minute, but my goodness, what's going on? She used to be a seamstress, and she used to make the nurses' uniforms. I'm sure Stonehouse Hospital used to be a training hospital for nurses, and I think that's what they did. So my gran used to help the nurses and make alterations to their outfits and uniforms. Now that's Stonehouse Hospital there, obviously greatly reduced. But I was thinking about the significance of Hamilton and previous by-elections in this area. And one of the things that actually happened in the old Hamilton district, or this Hamilton area, was that Winnie Ewan was one of the first of the SNP to be elected. She may had a significant overturning of the Labour Party, who were dominant in this area, this Larkhall, Hamilton and Stonehouse, and the Labour Party were dominant in this area. This is why it's going to be even more historic if the Labour Party go into third place. Going from being a dominant in this area to Labour being in third place will be a massive transformation. Now the SNP might well hold this, although I was listening to John Swinney talking about being zero emissions from Scotland. What's happening is that in Africa they're building a large area across Central Africa, just south of the Sahara, and they're putting trees and they're building wee ditches and putting crops in it, and they're trying to stop the advance of the Sahara. Also in Saudi Arabia and Arabia, that they're actually greening the desert. They're actually putting in things that are going to actually green the desert. So if the zero emissions or increasing emissions is increasing the temperature here, if there's a greening of various areas throughout the world, like Australia for instance has got a large area where it could be greened as well. If there's a reduction in temperature and we're getting our electricity from solar panels, say they were covered in snow, or solar panels going to work if there's a decrease in temperature, are wind turbines going to work if there's a decrease in temperature? What stage do wind, solar and tidal electricity generation not work if there's a decrease in temperature? The SNP have not gone with the nuclear fusion option for energy, and there's been vast improvements in nuclear power. And what happens if we've stopped drilling the North Sea oil, we've not got access to the oil and gas, we're having to import it, which is probably going to increase the amount of CO2 emissions by having to import it. And then that's going to increase CO2 emissions rather than drilling it in the North Sea. And the SNP, now they've turned into the Green Party Mark II. If the SNP do not do that, where's the money coming from independence? Don't forget, for years and years and generations, they had said that they were going to drill, and that's where money was going to come into Scotland to make it prosperous. And now what they're doing is saying, no, they're not going to drill. And now Sawar's saying drill, President Trump's saying drill, Reformers saying drill in the North Sea and extract the oil and gas in the North Sea, which is obviously going to increase revenue and not require importation of oil and gas into Scotland. And we're not going to get to zero emissions. It's fanciful that we're going to get to zero emissions, especially when China are producing a coal-fired power station every week. So they're producing CO2 as if it's just going to stay in China or India or America. And these countries who are going to continue to produce CO2 are not going to stop producing it. So John Swinney's on to hiding to nothing on the back of this. He's not going to stop CO2. But this shows me the change in just living somewhere, the change that all of this was part of the hospital, and now it's all houses, and the hospital has been reduced to this. That's the changes. Come on, I'll show you some other changes in Stonehouse. Let me just stick this on. So I'll flip this round and you can see what I'm looking at. So Stonehouse is a lovely wee village, but the significance of Stonehouse, Hamilton and Larkhall in previous election cycles, in the election by-elections, for Westminster, as I said, Winnie Ewan won it for the SNP against Labour. And if what's thought, and Paul Hutchins is from the Planet Hollywood, is saying that Labour are going to be in third place, means that areas like Stonehouse are going to change from being a Labour Party stronghold, then SNP, and now it's changing to Reform. And this is the big changes that are going to happen in the electorate. How you doing, guys? All right? Aye. And you, what age are you? 18. Are you voting?
Voting for who?
Aye, who? There's a by-election coming up. Well, let me just explain this round. You can get on it. You want to vote? Come on. There we go, boys.
Team. Come on. Let's go.
So, do you know? Is this the first time you're able to vote?
It's me. Aye.
Do you know who you're going to vote for in the election, boys? Reform, are you?
Reform UK.
Yeah, see that, and I've just you're the first two I've met just now.
Have you?
And I was just saying that this is a political channel, right?
Yeah.
And this used to be a heavy Labour seat, right? And now it's changed. And Winnie Ewan won it for the SNP, and now it's changing to Reform now.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised that you young guys are going to vote. Are you registered to vote? I will. I will make sure you go on the Hamilton Council website and get the registers. Well done, boys. Well done.
I'm into a lot of politics.
Well, go on the Guerilla TV channel, Guerilla TV channel. Here you go, boys. Thanks, boys. Thank you. Nice young fellas. So that's just. I mean, I've literally. This is quite a quiet part of this. Isn't the centre of Stonehouse. That's just two nice young fellas there, and they are now going to be voting Reform. So it just shows you that there's a lot of animosity, shall we say, to Labour and even the SNP don't seem to be doing very well. And yeah, it's I think they're going to see big changes if the young fellas like them go out and vote and actually put the X in the box. Then we're going to see a potential could reform win. That was the other thing that from my other video. Could reform, that's what the question was asked to Paul Hutchins, could reform win the seat? Could this be historic? And could reform actually win the constituency against Labour and against the SNP? Hi guys, how you doing? Can I ask a question? Are you guys going to be voting in the up and coming ban?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't
not really bothered.
No.
Okay, guys, thank you. Thanks very much. So they're all nice people. Obviously, I grew up here. I'm going to show you where I was, what primary school I was at. Mum was a primary teacher here in Stonehouse. So we've got quite long ties here. To Larkhall, Stonehouse, Hamilton. I showed you what happened with the rugby earlier on from the Hamilton by-election. So it'll be very interesting to find out what the situation is when the results are cast. There could be a reduction in the turnout, which means that it's going to be even more for play. It will depend on what the groundwork has been like for these parties. And we've already seen a lot of bad things coming out from the Labour side, that there's not a lot of love on the door for Labour at this point. So it's let me just flip it around. It's very nice, lovely, beautiful place. So yeah, so they've had real problems, and apparently Reform is getting their groundwork together, which will be, because they're actually coming from nothing. They've not got any data here. Who's actually going to prepare to come out? This is quite a staunchly, I'll just say a staunch sort of place. Stonehouse in Larkhall, and they've got certain small C conservative views. So I'll just flip it around again. So this could be a massive deal if Reform won the by-election. That would actually totally shellac all the two main parties and put the fear of God up everybody. From a political point of view. So this was my old primary, but it didn't look like this. This was the first primary I went to, and it's been knocked down. It was a beautiful old sandstone building, and it's been knocked down, and they've built this yellow number here. It looks larger than what it was before. There was like cabins round the side, and I think that's obviously a gym. So my mother was a primary teacher here, and I went to Stonehouse, and I'll tell you all about the dyslexia stuff at a later date. But this is the change. This is the change in what Stonehouse has become. It's just like the hospital. It's completely changed. Looks like maybe even preschool as well. Get a story from in there. There used to be cabins out the back here, and there used to be the dinner hall was out the back. So they've got seem to have basketball courts, football courts. I think this is also for preschool as well. So this just shows you what could potentially happen. There could be a landslide, an earthquake here, political earthquake for Reform. And Reform could, if the people go out and vote for Reform, Reform could take the seat. Nobody's happy with Keir Starmer or Sarwar just now. And the SNP don't look like they've done very much over the last number of years. They might just get voted in for the sake of actually getting voted in. But then again, something massive could happen. Hi, sir. Can I ask just a question? Obviously, the by-election's coming up. Have you got any thoughts on who you might be voting for?
Still deciding.
Is it up in the air? Is it? Do you think? I was speaking to two younger fellas there, and they seem to be voting for Reform. Do you think there could be an earthquake here, and Reform could?
You never know.
You never know, right? That's great. Thanks very much. So. Yeah, they just. I think it's up in the air. I think people are flexible now that they could actually. I'll flip it around so you can see the town. It could be actually be a. It's like a wee village, lovely wee village, nice people in it. And there could be a reform change, or Reform could be in a heavy second place, just like they did up at Clydebank. So the guy, just in case you didn't get that, because my thing wasn't pointing the other way, I'm just going to flip this round. He said that Reform could actually get into, Reform could actually win here, which would be a massive earthquake in Scotland again, and it would be a massive earthquake in British politics as well if Reform beat both SNP and Labour. That could be transformational. It was transformational when Ewing won the actual seat as well. And we're just walking into the main part of the village. So, quite quiet, nice wee place. You can see it. There's a lot of farms around here as well, stretching out into the rural parts, going further past Stonehouse. I'm not quite sure how far past Stonehouse, the actual village itself, the actual constituency goes. But it'll be quite interesting to see what the farmers are saying as well, obviously with Keir Starmer putting the tax on the farmers. Not quite sure why that one's been built there, mind you, but that's been like that for years. Right, Turkish barber. That used to be a pub over there. I don't know where this pub is. Hey, is there a pub up here? Is there a pub? The Bull going?
The Black Bull's away now. What are you looking for?
Just a pub.
There's I'll show you one here that's next to my flat. Hold on.
Is that all right? That's convenient, aye.
Aye, convenient except that I'm not allowed in. I'm barred out.
What are you up to?
No, it's just a stupid thing. This way.
How are you?
What are you doing anyway?
Well, obviously, you know, the by-election's coming up. And we're just actually, I come from here.
Right.
So my mum's a primary teacher in Stonehouse Primary.
Oh, I see.
So we,
Look
my
at the
gran...
cross keys. Oh, cross
gran.
keys. You never remember that? The
What's
cross
that?
keys. Used to
It's
be
a wee
pubs.
while.
It's called the Back Road now.
Oh, is
So I'm
it?
just
Is
taking
it
you
round
to
the corner? Is it round the
It's
back?
just right here, right.
What was I going to say? Do you know who how you're voting?
Well, I'm kind of on the fence. I was thinking Labour, and then I'm not sure. I'm thinking SNP. I'm not sure. Between the two.
Did you see the thing about Sarwar's dad wanting to bring in
Well, I met
blasphemy
Sarwar.
laws?
He came straight to my door and he shook my hand and all that. I met him. He was up here. He was up here having lunch and sat sweet talking.
Did you see him when bringing blasphemy laws for Islam?
No.
His dad?
Did he?
And his dad was done for like £5,000 spending to bribe the other Labour guy.
Did he?
It's in
Didn't
the
hear that.
paper,
Didn't hear
so-
that.
and
So
he's-
what part are you? SNP?
No, we're actually an independent. We're an independent media group.
All right.
And we actually, yeah, it's brilliant. You're a star. We actually cover just politics, so
Right.
so we're just trying to get the gauge to see if it might go reform.
Right, I see.
'Cause it's quite interesting the differences that
Right,
happen.
I see. Well, that's,
Thank
that's
you,
fine.
thanks very much, thanks.
There's only a pub about here.
Aye,
All
it's
the
just
pubs-
quick.
all
Aye.
the pubs there, the Violet Club up the
Oh,
top.
aye. That's where I stayed. That's where I'm. Right, well, that's great. Thank you. So I think I've got you a chat. I'll just switch this off. I don't think anybody's wanting accosted.